Hey there, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about what kind of a life path number 3 are you? So I don't know if you've ever been asked that before. If you're a life path number 3, you've probably always said, I'm a life path number 3. But guess what, guys? There's a whole bunch of different ways you could be a life path number 3. Depends upon your date of birth and the sub-lessons you chose to place in there when you created your soul's contract. So it's not enough to say, I'm a 3 life path anymore, okay? So I want to help you to see how you really crack your birth code. So let's go and take a look at how that works. So first of all, I want to talk about calculation methods. All right, so there's a couple out there. There's several out there actually, but the two I'm going to focus on here are the ones I have featured on the screen. So I'm looking at my date of birth here, March 25th of 1959. When we add all the numbers straight across for this date of birth, it comes up to number 34, and 3 and 4 equal 7. So I would be referred to as a 34-7. Now, I learned numerology probably 22 years ago, and this just never sat well with me because I could never connect the dots to the 3, which is the sub-lesson, the number 3. Couldn't connect the dots to that because that was all about learning how to be a better communicator, learning how to be a bit more creative, that sort of thing. I had all that. I didn't have to worry about learning that. The 4 is about being disciplined and focused and creating plans and such. I got all that too. I understand I'm a 7. That part I do understand. But how I got to that 7, that did not make sense to me. Until I learned this method over here, which came from the teachings of Matthew Oliver Goodwin, who was a master numerologist back in the 80s before he passed. So Matthew says we need to break down each piece of the date of birth independently. So March would come down as a 3, 25th day. It's a double digit, so we have to reduce it. So 2 and 5 equals 7. 1959 added across comes to 24. It's double digit, reduce it again, comes to a 6. Now when we add 3 plus 7 plus 6, we come up with still a 7 life path number, but the sub-lessons are different, okay? The 1 and the 6, they're different. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the 1 relates to me learning to develop a little bit more confidence in my creative potential, leadership potential. It's all about creativity, authenticity, originality, just doing me, right? That's why I kind of come across a little different than the rest. That's where it comes from. The 6 related to my need for perfectionism. I hold the bar a little too high for myself at times. The 6 also relates to a need to take on more responsibility than what is rightfully mine. I get those lessons too. But bigger than that, guys, the 16-7 created a karmic debt, and I really understand that too. Now, I'm not saying that this method that I've chosen here, this one here, I'm not saying that is the exact and the only way, the be-all, end-all. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that I had to do it both ways to figure out which one I connected with best. This is not about saying this is the only way to do it, because who knows? We can't prove that, right? But what I feel is important is that you do your calculations both ways and then figure out your sub-lessons and tap into that to see which one feels better to you. When I do readings for people, this is what I do, is I help them to determine which one is the better fit, okay? Now, let's go and take a look at what this means. All right, so here's your possibilities. You could be a life path number 3. If your date of birth just added up to 3, then that's it. It's a 3. We could be a 12-3 or a 21-3, right? 1 and 2 equals 3. 2 and 1 equal 3. We could also be a 30/3. 3 plus 0 equals 3. So there's various different versions, but you can see there's different sub-lessons here. So let's take a look at the 3 overall. Whether you're a 21-3, 12-3, 30/3, you're a 3, okay? So there's some commonality to that number 3. So this is learning how to express yourself with sensitivity. It's learning how to engage in group dynamics. Remember, the 1 is all about being on their own, standing on their own 2 feet. The 2 says, no, I want to be in a partnership. And the 3 says, yeah, but I want to be in the crowd, right? So this is imposing a little bit more of an interest in being in that group dynamic. So it's a little bit more social. So it's taming that inner critic to allow your genuine, authentic side to shine, right? Letting people see who you are. Expressing yourself positively, joyfully, with a sense of humor, if possible. Overcoming self-doubt. Overcoming fear of self-expression using art, music, public speaking, writing, doing poetry, doing sculpture, whatever it is. But it's just doing you, right? And taming that inner critic that says, I'm not good enough. Now, when we look at the 12-3 or the 21-3, you might say, well, what's the difference, Anne? You got a 1 and a 2 sub-lesson and a 2 and a 1 sub-lesson. It's the same thing. Well, it is and it isn't, right? The lesson closest to the slash, in the case of the 12-3, it's the 2, right? That 2 is going to be felt more than the 21-3, okay? or pardon me, so the 2, it's closest to the slash. You will feel this one more than you'll feel this one. You'll feel the 2 more than the 1. In the case of the 21-3, they're going to feel the 1 lesson more than the 2 lesson, okay? So yes, they're the same sub-lessons, but it's in terms of intensity, the one that's closest to the slash is the one you're going to feel. So the sub-lesson of the number 1 relates to developing confidence in your creative potential, learning how to be a leader, learning how to stand up on your own 2 feet, being authentic, being original, okay? Being an original leader, an original thinker. The sub-lesson of the 2 relates to being patient, learning how to be a little bit more diplomatic, learning how to be a partner, a team player, somebody who's collaborative in nature, managing your sensitivity, and establishing balance in your life. So either way you do this, it's learning to create in cooperative efforts. So for example, when you've got a singer and a songwriter, the singer sings the song, the songwriter writes the song. Okay, so they're working in collaboration. So that would be a good example of a 12-3 or a 21-3. Now, when we look at the 30/3, you can see there's no 2 here. There's no 1 here. So this already tells you right away, this is a different kind of a 3 life path number. So this person is learning the sub-lessons related to the 3. So we already know that's about creative expression and taming that inner critic. So you've got that on both sides, right? You've got it here and you've got it here. This is your main lesson over here. This is a sub-lesson over here. And the 0 is learning how to tap into your intuitive gifts. This is not a 21-3. Nowhere in there did it say that the 21-3 or the 12-3 needed to learn about intuitive gifts. The 30/3 does. So this is embracing creative potential. It's gaining confidence with intuitive gifts so they can create more harmony and balance in the world. And it's overcoming self-doubt so that they can use those gifts in service to humanity. They need to make a difference. Okay, so now you know. There are different ways to being a 3 life path number. And if you'd like to learn more, I'd love to teach you more. So I've got the Clarity Seekers community. It's a membership and we have all kinds of cool stuff going on in there. I've got live masterclasses with experts in all kinds of fields related to the metaphysical, spiritual development, life coaching, dietary concerns, you name it, it's in there. So we've got masterclasses going on all the time. We've got lots of live events. I'm teaching numerology in there live a couple times a month. We have monthly live oracle card readings, life coaching, you name it, we have it. So I would really love it if you would check it out. It's $22 a month. You can cancel anytime, but it's just a fantastic place to really sink your teeth into making sure that you're on your correct life path, to be of service, doing what you're passionate about. Let us help you get there. That's what I'm passionate about, right? So I really hope you'll check us out, AnnPerryNumerologist.com. You can look at the very top for the link to get you to the Clarity Seekers community, or you can go right down to the very bottom. Either way, you'll get there. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. And for now, I'm hoping that you are creating your best day ever. Thanks, and bye for now.